All right, so there's a topic on my mind that I want to talk about briefly just because it's personal and I deal with it consistently, and I believe for once the church actually deals with this very well, and that the culture does a very poor job about it. When you remove foundations and you take a lot of the wrong kind of people online and just say, "Hey, what do you think?" and then they blow up and their videos become viral and yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is you need to be listening to the right kind of people in order to, improve and to get anywhere better than where you're at currently. So, this particular issue is when people should focus on their feelings and emotions. And tying this to depression is interesting, but it's well worth it. I want to say that, to cover some of the basics here, managing what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, and when and where and how much you get to sleep, all of that does play a very vital role on the state of your being, but so do other things that indirectly affect you, such as the addictions that you accumulate in your life, the trauma, the unhealthy attachments that you make in your personal life with friends and relationships, even lessons, heroes, ideas, philosophies. I want to say radicalism actually kind of shows just how far things go or have gone and what should change there. Specifically running into other people who point that out, whether it's in a conversation or by a fight or something like that. So I want to point that out too. Now, there's other parts that are biological that we just can't really do much about except actually replacing the body parts themselves. Now, replacing your mind, that probably won't happen, unfortunately. And if it does degrade enough, you may not be able to change. There's some therapy apparently about being able to help stimulate your mind to help avoid or regress some of the affected parts dealing with depression. I just found that out today, but I forget the name of it. Interesting and worth mentioning. So, in regards to this, I want to say that the church itself, they focus on the people in the past who have handled this stuff fairly well for the most part. King David is one of the foremost people that is talked about here, and he's just really good as an example all around because he's been through a lot, has done a lot, and there's been a lot talked about him, recorded throughout history. So, seeing people's thoughts and actions and hearing them talked about through other people as far as when they're happy, this is what they do. When they're joyful, this is also what they do. Happiness and joyfulness are very similar in a lot of ways, but the points do differ as far as, you could be joyful for years and you can only be happy for X amount of minutes before that ends up changing because it's temporary. Joy itself is set on something further down the road, something longer, something more concrete rather than just simply feelings. Now, as far as with other emotions, things that afflict us, this is where depression comes into play. Being able to remind yourself of something or someone to focus on is incredibly important. For women, it's more focusing on people, people that they're interested in. But for young men, for older men, it's going to be on historical figures, mentors, your father, if he's a really good, if he's passed down some very valuable things to you that you appreciate, that you still value. So you focus on the examples in life that can help reinforce your drive, your motivation in order to improve, to get somewhere else, which directly combats depression and other other aspects like anxiety and frustration and just the general areas that you would be struggling with. I want to say when it comes down to other emotions and feelings, anger is one of the ones where it's basically warned, just be careful in how you handle it, not the fact that it's, evil or anything like that. Emotions and feelings are not evil. It's just what you do with them there will be consequences to them. And that they can be evil. That action you take can be done incorrectly and wrongly just because it's so short-sighted. I think a perfect example there would be lashing out when someone wrongs you just because they were wronged by someone else. Like, for example, if there was an accident. Okay, let me back up here. If you and another person on your left were driving down a highway, down a freeway, and there was something that caused them to swerve into your vehicle, you could immediately lash out and want to take revenge there without even realizing that there was something that forced them into you. So, yeah. It's not wrong to get angry. It's just wrong to lash back lash back too quickly and make a mistake. That mistake could lead to something far worse. All right, just wanted to leave this interesting thought here with you, and I guess I want to wrap this up here. So, for the most part, the church doesn't ever address this directly, but it is important to note that it's important to address this so that you are aware of this and can take the appropriate steps to make sure that it will not be manipulated for you by someone else. Megachurch pastors, the ones who teach on the prosperity gospel, is a very good example of those who want to try to manipulate your emotions and feelings so that you are more susceptible or vulnerable to their teachings and what they're saying. And as a consequence, it's not something that is wrong in and of itself. Donating there's a lot that's tied to donating, but the fact that there's a whole system revolving around donating and giving money to these churches, the system itself is wrong. It's very corrupt, so to speak. It's not about the message. It's not even about helping other people. It's about filling pockets. So, yeah. This ties in with an earlier message from, I want to say last year. It could be a year and a half ago, but it's just something I believe need to be covered, directly talking about depression, ways to counter that. All right, until next time.